Morning light slips through the curtains, soft and pale. Rowan opens his eyes slowly. His body still feels warm, but the sharp edge of panic isn't there. Beside him, Alden sits in a chair, head bowed, eyes half closed with tiredness. For a moment, Rowan just watches. Alden's face looks softer when resting. The lines near his eyes fade, and he looks almost young. Rowan feels something gentle stir in his chest, comforting and scary all at once. Rowan moves, and the chair creaks softly. Alden opens his eyes. "You're awake," he says, voice quiet from sleep. I didn't mean to wake you," Rowan says. "I wasn't really asleep," Alden admits. "I wanted to stay close." Rowan's chest tightens. "You didn't have to, I know," Alden replies, "but I wanted to." They fall into a small silence. Rowan rubs his palms against his legs, feeling the lingering warmth inside. "It feels quieter when you're here," he whispers. "That's what the bond does," Alden says softly. "It brings us closer. Do you feel it too?" Rowan asks. "I do," Alden answers, calm and honest. "Sometimes it's hard to resist," Rowan's cheeks warm. "And you try to resist?" I do," Alden says gently. "Because I want it to be your choice, Rowan, not just something we can't control." Rowan lowers his gaze, heart beating fast. "And what if I choose it too?" Alden draws in a slow breath. "Then all you'd need to do is say so." Rowan feels a softer warmth this time. Not fear, but wanting. His voice shakes. "I'm still scared. It's okay to be scared," Alden says. "You can feel afraid and still want something at the same time." Rowan lifts his eyes, meeting Alden's steady gaze. "You always know what to say," he whispers. "I don't," Alden says with a small smile. "I just know how I feel." They sit close, but not touching. Slowly, Rowan places his hand over Alden's. Alden turns his hand, their fingers intertwining. Even this small touch sends a gentle shiver through Rowan. "I don't know what happens next," Rowan admits. "Then let's move slowly," Alden says. "One choice at a time." Rowan nods. His throat feels tight, but lighter somehow. "All right," a quiet knock breaks the moment. Theo steps in, carrying a tray of tea and bread. "Good, you're both awake," he says warmly. "Thank you, Theo," Rowan replies. Theo sets the tray down, his eyes noticing the change in the air between them. "Did you rest at all?" he asks. "A little," Rowan says. "Better than before, I'm glad," Theo says, a hint of relief on his face. "You'll need your strength." The council is meeting again today. Rowan's stomach tightens. "Already?" They won't wait," Theo says. "They still want to make choices for you," Rowan's jaw sets. "Then I'll tell them again. I won't be forced." Alden gently squeezes Rowan's hand. "And this time, they'll see you mean it," Rowan nods. The fear inside is still there, but it feels smaller beside Alden's calm and Theo's steady presence. "Oh, eat something first," Theo says. "Then we'll face them together." Rowan takes a piece of bread, its warmth steadying him. As he looks up and meets Alden's eyes, for the first time in days, Rowan feels something stronger than fear. "I hope." The council chamber feels colder. Rowan walks in with his head held high, even though his heart beats fast in his chest. Alden walks beside him, calm and solid. Theo follows, his steps quiet but sure. Rowan can feel the heat inside him, low and steady, not wild like before. The bond between him and Alden feels warm, like a soft thread pulling them closer. It helps him breathe. Lord Merrick's sharp gaze meets Rowan's. "You return to refuse us again?" he asks. His voice sounds tired this time, not just angry. "I return to speak for myself," Rowan says. His voice is quiet but firm. Lady Brenna leans forward. her pale eyes thoughtful. "And what will you say, Your Highness?" "I won't bond with someone I don't choose," Rowan says. "I won't be used like a weapon," Merrick frowns. "Your bloodline matters more than your wishes." "My bloodline is mine," Rowan says, voice shaking but steady. "Not yours." There's a quiet in the room. Some council members shift in their seats, uncertain. Darion is there too, standing at the side. His eyes are cold, and Rowan feels a flicker of fear, but it doesn't drown him this time. "You think you can defy us?" Darion says, voice low. "I don't think," Rowan says. "I know." Darion steps closer, the sharpness of his scent brushing against Rowan's senses. Rowan feels the heat in his body twist painfully, but Alden moves, stepping between them. "That's close enough," Alden warns, voice calm but hard. Darion's lip curls. "And who are you to stop me?" Plaff softly, da Halden prasher, pris plashen. "His chosen protector," Alden says. Darion laughs softly. "Chosen by whom, himself?" "Yes," Rowan says. His voice sounds stronger than he feels. "I choose him." The words hang in the air. The council members look at each other, surprise flickering across a few faces. "You think your choice matters more than tradition?" Merrick asks. "I do," Rowan says. His hand lifts, almost without thinking, and rests lightly on Alden's arm. "And if you force me, you'll lose more than you gain." Lady Brenna's gaze sharpens. "And what would you gain by choosing him?" Rowan looks at Alden, then back to her. "Someone who sees me," he says softly. "Not just my blood." A silence follows. Rowan feels his heart beat hard in his chest, but he doesn't look away. Darion's voice breaks the quiet. "Then you choose weakness," he says. Rowan lifts his chin. "No. I choose strength that is mine." Merrick's eyes narrow. "The council must decide," he says at last. His voice sounds tired, almost resigned. Rowan's voice softens. "Decide what you want. But I will not bend." Theo steps closer, his voice quiet but clear. "And you'll face more than him if you try." Darion's mouth twists into a hard line. "This isn't over," he says, voice cold. Rowan feels fear prickle in his chest, but Alden's presence keeps it from swallowing him. "I know," Rowan says quietly, "but I'm not alone anymore." Merrick leans back in his chair, watching Rowan with sharp eyes. "Go," he says. "We will speak again." Rowan nods, then turns to leave. His legs feel weak, but Alden's hand on his back guides him forward. Outside the chamber, Rowan stops, his breath coming quick and shaky. "You did well," Alden says softly. "I'm still scared," Rowan whispers. "I know," Alden says. "But you spoke the truth. That matters." Theo smiles, small but real. "And you didn't speak it alone." Rowan nods, chest tight but lighter than before. "Thank you, both of you." They walk together down the long hall. Rowan feels the heat still in his blood, but the fear feels smaller. And as he glances at Alden, he feels something he hasn't dared to hold on to until now. The start of real hope. The halls of the palace feel quieter than usual as Rowan, Alden, and Theo walk back to Rowan's chambers. The air is heavy, like it's holding its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. Rowan's steps are slow. His legs feel tired, but his heart feels different, stronger somehow. Alden walks close by his side, every step steady, and Theo keeps glancing back to make sure they aren't being followed. When they reach Rowan's room, Theo closes the door softly behind them. Rowan sinks into the chair by the window, letting out a long breath he didn't know he was holding. "I can't believe I said that," Rowan says, voice low. His hands still tremble a little. "I can," Alden says. He leans against the wall nearby, watching Rowan. because you meant it. Rowan lifts his eyes to Alden, meeting his calm gaze. Do you really think it matters what I said? It matters to me, Alden says. His voice is simple and honest, and to me, Theo adds, stepping closer. You didn't let them choose for you. That's worth something. Rowan's chest tightens at their words. The heat inside him still burns, but it doesn't feel so sharp when they're near. I still feel afraid, Rowan admits, but not the same as before. Theo nods. Because now it's your choice, not theirs. Rowan looks at Alden, voice softer now. And if I choose you? Alden's breath catches. Then I'd be yours, he says. Rowan swallows, heart beating hard. And if I change my mind? Then I'd still protect you, Alden says, quiet and sure. Theo watches them, a small smile on his face. I think that's the answer, Rowan. You don't have to know everything right now. Just what you want for now, Rowan nods, his fingers curling against the arm of the chair. For now, I don't want to be alone, he whispers. You're not, Alden says. He steps closer, stopping just in front of Rowan. May I? Rowan hesitates, then nods. Yes. Alden kneels beside him, so they're eye to eye. Rowan feels the warmth of Alden's presence, stronger than the restless heat in his blood. Breathe with me, Alden says softly. Rowan tries. In, then out. Alden matches him, their chests rising and falling together. Slowly, Rowan's racing heart calms a little. Theo moves to the window, giving them space without leaving the room. Rowan's voice breaks the quiet. I don't know what tomorrow brings, then don't think about tomorrow, Alden says gently. Just this moment. Rowan lifts a trembling hand, resting it lightly on Alden's shoulder. And this moment, I want you here, I'm here, Alden says. His hand covers Rowan's, warm and steady. Rowan's throat feels tight. I don't deserve this, he whispers. You do, Alden says, his voice low. You always did. Rowan's eyes sting. He blinks, but a tear slips down anyway. Alden's thumb brushes it away before Rowan can wipe it himself. I'm tired of fighting everyone, Rowan says, his voice breaking. Then let me fight for you, Alden says. Just rest. Rowan closes his eyes, leaning forward until his forehead rests against Alden's. Their breaths mingle, warm and soft. The heat inside Rowan still aches, but it doesn't feel like it will swallow him. With Alden so close, the fear feels smaller. And for the first time, Rowan lets himself believe it's all right to want just this.
Tired of laggy
Just
videos? Enjoy a fast, sleek interface, no confusing menus, just pure watching. It's totally free with ads. Perfect for budget-conscious binge watchers. Ready for smoother streaming? Download MSP Player and upgrade your experience.
Rowan sits quietly by the fire. As night wraps around the palace, the flames flicker, making shadows dance across the walls. His body still feels warm with heat, but it isn't the wild, biting burn it was before. Alden sits beside him, close enough that their shoulders almost touch. His calm presence makes Rowan's chest feel steady, even when his thoughts spin. Theo sits across from them, polishing a small silver ring in his hand. The council will call again soon, Theo says, voice quiet but serious. Are you ready? No, Rowan admits softly. But I won't run, Alden nods, his gaze gentle. That's enough for now. Rowan turns to look at him. Why do you believe in me so much? Because you keep standing up, even when you're afraid, Alden says. Rowan's heart beats faster at his words. He looks down at his hands, then back up. And if I can't keep standing, then I'll hold you up, Alden says simply. The room feels warm in a different way, not from the fire, but from the quiet closeness between them. Theo leans back in his chair, his voice softer. Rowan, do you still want to choose your own bond? And Rowan's chest tightens. Yes, he says. But I don't want it to be because I'm afraid of the heat. Alden's hand brushes lightly against Rowan's. What if it's not fear that makes you choose? He asks. Rowan lifts his eyes to meet Alden's. His voice is small but honest. Then it would be you. Alden doesn't speak right away. His gaze is soft, but there's something raw in it too. Like hope and fear tangled together. You don't have to decide tonight, Alden says. Or tomorrow, Rowan nods. But I know I don't want anyone else, he whispers. Alden's breath catches. Then let that be enough for now. Theo smiles gently. That's still a choice, Rowan, it's yours. Rowan feels something warm and heavy in his chest. But it isn't fear, it feels like relief. The fire pops softly, and for a moment everything feels quiet and safe. Rowan turns to Alden, voice almost a whisper. Will you stay tonight? Alden's answer is simple. Always. Rowan leans closer, his head resting lightly against Alden's shoulder. Alden doesn't move, only lets him stay there, solid and calm. Theo rises quietly from his chair. I'll give you two some peace, he says. His eyes are gentle as he steps out of the room. Left alone, the silence feels soft, not empty. Rowan feels Alden's slow, steady breathing beside him. I'm still afraid, Rowan says. His voice is small, like a confession. I know, Alden answers. But you don't have to face it alone. Rowan closes his eyes, the heat in his chest still there but softer now. Thank you, he whispers. Alden's hand finds Rowan's, their fingers twining gently. Sleep, Alden says quietly. I'll keep watch. And for the first time in what feels like forever, Rowan lets himself rest. Not because he is strong enough to face the world alone, but because someone he trusts is by his side. Morning light spills into the room, warm and gentle. Rowan wakes slowly, eyes blinking open to see Alden still sitting by his side. Alden's head is bowed, but his eyes open as soon as Rowan stirs. You stayed, Rowan says, voice still rough with sleep. I said I would, Alden answers softly. Rowan sits up, his body still heavy with heat but calmer than before. His chest feels strange, tight, but in a softer way, like something important is waiting just behind his ribs. Theo knocks gently before stepping inside. The council sent a message, he says. His voice is careful. They're asking to see you again. One last time, Rowan's breath catches. One last time? Theo nods. They want your final answer, about Lord Darien. Or your own choice. Rowan glances at Alden, then back at Theo. His heart beats so loud he feels it everywhere. Then it's time I give it, he says. Theo's gaze softens. Are you sure? Rowan nods. I'm sure. The council chamber feels different today. Not colder, quieter, as if even the old stones are waiting to hear what Rowan will say. Lord Merrick's sharp eyes watch him as he steps forward. Darien stands nearby, arms crossed, his gaze cold and bored. Rowan's heart hammers, but he lifts his chin. You wanted my answer, he says, voice shaking only a little. And here it is, I won't bond with Lord Darien. Merrick's jaw tightens. Then who do you choose? Rowan breathes in, feeling Alden's quiet strength behind him. I choose Alden, Rowan says. His voice is clearer now, louder. Not because the heat tells me to, because I do. A silence fills the room. Rowan's chest aches with fear, but it feels different. Lighter because the words are true. Darien's lip curls. A knight over a lord? Yes, Rowan says, because he sees me, not my blood. Lady Brenna's eyes narrow, but there's something almost thoughtful in her gaze. Merrick leans back in his chair, face tight. If you do this, you risk the kingdom's bloodline. I risk it either way, Rowan says. His voice is softer now, but I'd rather risk it and stay free than be owned. The council murmurs among themselves. Rowan feels the heat inside him, sharp for a moment, but Alden's quiet presence helps it soften. Finally, Merrick speaks. And what of the bond? Rowan glances back at Alden, meeting his calm, steady gaze. His chest tightens with something that feels almost like joy. If he'll have me, Rowan says, voice low, I'd choose him. Alden steps forward, close enough that Rowan can feel his warmth. Then I choose you, Alden says simply. And outside the council chamber, the air feels fresh, almost like the world itself is breathing easier. Rowan lets out a shaky breath, turning to Alden. Are you sure? Rowan whispers. I'm not an easy choice. You're the only choice I want, Alden says. His voice is soft but steady. Rowan's throat feels tight. I'm still afraid, so am I, Alden says. But I'm here. Rowan lifts a hand, resting it lightly against Alden's chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart. Then stay with me, Rowan whispers. Always, Alden answers. Theo steps closer, his voice gentle. You did it, Rowan. You really did, Rowan nods, his eyes stinging with tears he doesn't hide this time. Not alone, he says softly. The palace still holds dangers, and Rowan knows the future won't be easy. His heat still burns under his skin, and the council may fight back in other ways. But for the first time, Rowan isn't just surviving, he's choosing. And as Alden's hand closes around his, warm and certain, Rowan lets himself hope. Not just for tomorrow, but for every day after. Because now, at last, he knows he is not alone. And he never will be again.